Refer to the assembly guide for all assembly steps described in this video. The assembly of the king-size Murphy bed consists of attaching all the finished parts to the cabinet sides parts F. We start by attaching the left and right cabinet sides to the bed frame. Then the cabinet top is attached to the cabinet sides. The lower header part EB is then attached between the cabinet sides. The cabinet kick plate is then attached at the bottom end of the cabinet sides. The two gas pistons are then installed on the lower and upper plates. Finally, the cabinet top stopper will be attached to the top of the cabinet top unit to flush the bed frame with the front of the cabinet sides, and stop the bed when it is closed. If you have base boards in the room where the bed is going to be installed, then the bottom rear of the two cabinet sides will have to be cut to clear the baseboards. This is easily done by tracing the shape of the baseboard, and then using a jig saw to cut the bottom of the cabinet sides as shown here. A contour gauge can be helpful in tracing the shape of the baseboard. If you have laminate or hardwood on your floor, it is recommended that floor protectors be installed on the undersides of the cabinet sides. These are available from your local dollar store or hardware store. Simply stick them on the bottom ends of the two cabinet sides parts F. The cabinet sides are now ready to be attached to the bed frame. The bed frame should be laying on the floor for this step as shown here. Note the two folding legs have already been installed on the bed frame in this video. They can be installed later in step 9. Grab the left and right side cabinet sides parts F, and place them alongside of the bed frame. Insert the 3/8 spacer included with your hardware onto the male pivot rod as shown here. Slide the male pivot rod into the tube on the lower plate as shown here. Make sure the retaining pin locks the rod in place and does not slide out. Repeat the same steps for the other cabinet side. Grab the finished cabinet top unit and place it between the two cabinet sides. The cabinet top goes at the top end of the cabinet sides as shown here. The front of the cabinet top needs to be 1.5 inches off the floor to be installed correctly. Use 2 pieces of scrap 1x2 to raise the cabinet top as shown here. Place the 1x2 blocks at both ends. Make sure the top of the cabinet side is flush with part GE on the cabinet top unit. Use a wood clamp to secure the cabinet top to the cabinet side as shown here. The rear of the cabinet top should be flush with the rear of the cabinet side as well. It's okay to be up to 1/8 off, since this will be behind the bed when it is anchored to the wall, and will not be visible. Assuming the lumber was cut correctly, these two parts should be flush. Use 4 1¼ wood screws, and drive them through part GE into the cabinet side, to secure both pieces. Use more screws if needed. Make sure screws are flush. Repeat the same steps to secure the other side. Remove the 2 clamps. Also remove the 2 1x2 blocks from under the cabinet Use two 2-inch long wood screws, and drive them through the cabinet side, into the rear rail of the cabinet top as shown here. Drive screws flush. Pocket screws may be used here, although this is a more advanced technique. Repeat for the other side. The cabinet top is now installed on the Murphy bed. It is recommended you use a helper for this step, however, you may use a stool. Place the stool in the center of the bed frame shown here. Measure and mark according to the measurements shown in section 4 of the assembly guide. Measure and mark on the rear of the cabinet side. The lower header part EB needs to be 18 inches from the bottom end of the cabinet sides. Mark these 3 points on the cabinet side. Repeat for the other side. Place the lower header on the stool. Make sure the finished edge of the lower header is facing up. Using 3 2-inch long wood screws, drive the screws where the pencil marks are on the cabinet side. Pocket screws may be used here if preferred. Make sure the lower header is flush with the edge of the cabinet side. Drive all screws flush. Repeat for the other side. Remove the stool. The lower header is now complete. The kick plate now needs to be attached between the bottom ends of the cabinet sides. The bottom of the kick plate part K should be flush with the ends of the cabinet sides. Place a shim under the front of the cabinet side to flush the front of the kick plate. The cabinet sides may be slightly off the floor because of the bed handles. Use 3 2-inch long wood screws to secure the kick plate panel to the cabinet side. Pocket screws may be used here as an option. Repeat same steps for the other side. Remove the shims. The kick plate is now done. The bed is now ready to install the gas pistons in the next section. Please note the gas pistons need to be installed as instructed here. Do not deviate from these instructions, and please do not attempt to do your own thing. The gas pistons store a very high amount of mechanical energy that can result in serious injury if you do not follow all instructions in this video and the assembly guide. If you have laminate or hardware flooring, it is recommended you place a carpet or protective covering under the bed handles as shown here. Also place a piece of cardboard, or similar at the footer end, under the front sides of the cabinet sides as shown here. Do this on both sides. This will protect the floor when the bed is raised. Using your helper, slowly raise the bed cabinet off the floor until it sits upright. The bed cabinet is now raised, ready to start the piston installation. Grab the 2 gas pistons that came included with the hardware. Note the label on the body of the pistons has an arrow pointing up. This side of the piston must face up toward the top of the bed cabinet. The other rod end of the piston will connect to the lower plates, ball studs. This end of the piston can be installed with the bed frame down as shown here, or with the bed frame closed as shown in the assembly guide. Carefully push the end fitting onto the ball stud until the end fitting snaps onto the ball stud. Make sure the metal C-clips are properly secured and in place. It is a good idea to tape the piston body to the side rail, so the pistons don't get in the way when the bed frame is rated. Repeat the same steps for the other piston. Both pistons are now attached to the lower plates and ready for the next step. With your helper, slowly and carefully, raise the bed frame off the floor, all the way until it sits inside the bed cabinet. Note the bed frame is quite heavy and must be raised slowly and carefully. Do not let go of the bed frame at any time. The bed frame must be secured with 2 wooden clamps as shown here, or have your helper hold the bed frame, so it does not fall forward. Do not lean or push against the bed cabinet because it can fall forward, possibly causing serious damage or injury. Notice at this time the bed frame is recessed into the top of the bed cabinet. This must take place so the pistons can be installed. The bed cabinet needs to be 2 to 3 feet away from the wall, so you can comfortably get behind the bed to attach the upper end fitting on the gas pistons. If the upper end fitting on the gas piston does not line up with the ball stud, grab the body of the piston with your hand or both hands and slowly turn it until the end fitting lines up. Note there will some amount of resistance when turning the body of the gas piston. Now your helper needs to be in front of the bed frame and slowly move the bed frame in and out while you line up the end fitting with the ball stud in the vertical direction as shown here. Make sure the end fitting is properly secured to the ball stud on the upper plate. Also check the C-clips to make sure they are all the way in. Repeat the same step to attach the other pistons to the ball stud. Double-check the C-clips and make sure the piston is secured to the ball stud. Both gas piston has now been attached. If you cannot get the piston to line up, please recheck your measurements, mainly the upper plate measurements. Now remove the clamps from the bed cabinet. Please note that in this video, we are going to show the most common method of anchoring the bed to a wall that is built using wooden studs. Please refer to section 7 of the assembly guide if you are anchoring the bed to a brick, concrete, or metal stud wall. Also consult a professional if you are unsure how to properly anchor the bed cabinet. In North America, most walls in homes are built using 2x4s or 2x6s. We recommend using lag bolts and washers to anchor the bed to wooden frame walls. Please note the size of the lag bolts might change for each situation. Here we are using a 1/4 inch diameter by 2 1/2 inch long lag bolts with washers. Some homes may have brick or concrete walls. In these situations, masonry anchors are used. These are also known as tapcons. There are many sizes and types, so please consult with your local hardware store if you are unsure. Metal stud walls are usually found in commercial buildings and some condo buildings. In these situations, you can use toggle bolts to anchor the bed to the wall. There are many sizes and types, so we recommend you consult with your local hardware store, or a professional if you are not sure. Slowly push the bed cabinet against the wall where the bed is going to be resting. Do this with your helper if needed. The bed cabinet is heavy and needs to be moved carefully. It is important that the gap at the top between the bed frame and bed cabinet be evenly shimmed. You can use cardboard or wooden shims. Insert the shims into the gap as shown here. Do this on both sides. Make sure the gap is even on both sides. The left and right side gaps should also be even along the rest of the bed frame. To anchor the bed to the wall, Painting tape may be useful in marking the location of the studs. A stud finder will be required to locate the studs in the wall. These can be purchased at any hardware store, usually for under $40. Slowly run the stud finder horizontally on the wall, until the indicator shows the location of the stud. Our stud finder shows the center of the stud. Note that most wooden walls will have the studs located every 16 inches on center. Continue to locate the other studs. A minimum of 4 studs are required for the king-size Murphy bed. Use 5 if it is possible. Now use an appropriate size drill bit to drill through part GD of the cabinet top. Drilling about 2 to 3 inches into the wall will make it easier to drive the lag bolts, but be careful and use a drill bit as slightly smaller than the lag bolt diameter you are using. This will ensure the lag bolts will properly thread into the wall. The 5 holes have now been drilled. Using an impact driver will make driving the lag bolts much easier. You may also use a standard socket wrench. Make sure all lag bolts are anchored securely to the wall. This is very important since the bed cabinet can fall forward when the bed is in use if the anchoring procedure is not done properly and correctly. Now remove the shims. The gaps should be even on the left and right side of the cabinet. The bed cabinet is now ready to attach the cabinet top stopper in the next section. The cabinet top stopper unit is required to flush the bed frame with the front edges of the cabinet sides. It will also stop the bed when it is closed. This part must be installed after the 2 gas pistons have been installed. Place an appropriate step ladder in front of the bed so you can comfortably get to the top of the bed cabinet. Have your helper pull the bed frame out about 3 to 4 inches at the top. Insert the cabinet top stopper between the cabinet sides. The bed may be slowly closed at this point so the top of the face panels rests on the cabinet top stopper. Both ends should be flush, with the top and front edges of the cabinet sides as shown here. Use 4 to 6, 1 1/4 inch long wood screws to secure the cabinet stopper to the cabinet top. Drive all screws flush. The cabinet top stopper is now done. If you have already attached the folding legs during the construction stage, you may skip this section. Place a stool under the bed frame, and use a 40 to 60 pound weight to keep the bed frame down. You can also use a helper to hold the bed frame down. Grab the pair of folding legs and identify the left and right side. Undo the 3 machine screws. Place the leg plate on the side rail, making sure the nut goes into the 5/8 inch center hole. Insert the 3 machine screws into the 3 holes on the leg plate. Use a Robertson driver to tighten the screws. The leg will rest on the 3/4 inch lip on the face panels. Repeat the same steps to attach the other folding leg. A 5/30 seconds Allen key may be used to further tighten the cap nuts. Both folding legs have now been attached to the bed frame. Remove the stool. A proper size king-size mattress needs to be placed on the Murphy bed for the bed frame to be balanced properly and stay down. Without a mattress, the bed frame will have a high amount of force and wants to close or move up. Your mattress should be a maximum of 12 inches thick and not weigh over 85 pounds. Overpowering the two gas pistons will shorten their lifespan and make the bed too heavy to close. Have your helper hold the bed frame down. Undo the adjustable mattress clip. Place the mattress strap the sides. Grab your mattress and slowly place it on the bed. You may need help with this step. Slide the mattress onto the bed. Make sure the mattress is centered on the bed frame. Reattach the mattress strap clip. Pull on the loose strap to tighten the strap to the desired tension. The mattress is now placed on the bed. Please note the leg crossbar is an optional part of the Murphy bed construction and assembly. The leg crossbar attaches between the two folding legs and makes it easier to open and close the legs. Now that you have finished the assembly of your new king-size Murphy bed, don't forget to install the cabinet locking mechanism that is included with your hardware. Installing the cabinet lock is quick and easy. The cabinet lock will keep your king-size Murphy bed from accidentally being opened. Please refer to the section at the end of the assembly guide for complete installation details. Also, it is highly recommended you watch the step-by-step cabinet lock installation video. The king-size Murphy bed is now complete and ready to be enjoyed by you and your family. Thank you for watching.